and let's go to this. Okay, so I want to study this position where I played e4 against link, but the Watkins lines gives g4 in this position. Even after e4 I got a decent position, but in this position g4 is the one given by the, even though it doesn't score that highly, here g4 is the move. So we will just look at this. I reached this point in my study, which you can find by searching for finlip studies, and this is the text file from which the lines are given. So I can see that there are 174 hits from this position in line 11796. So I'm going to expand on this now. So e3 b5, let's go to line number 11796, and then thereafter the move 11796 is here after the move g4. Let's see what happens after a5. a5 is followed by the move e4 here. Okay, let's turn on the engine here. We can close this game because I don't think there's much to look at here after this, since I've already looked at it. The game after e4 went like this, and in this position I lost a little later because I could have won many times. This was a winning move, the knight going to there to b5 for instance. I didn't find that, and later even when the knight came out I could have probably just taken the knight with this, and this is probably also winning, but it was not to be. And I later slowly, after allowing all of this, even this was a good position, but this was the very bad move here. This is still winning for me, but I missed so many wins, and then finally after this move I was just lost, because after this he would just play this side, I'd take this, and he'd take this, and I'd take this. So that's all about the games that we just played. So I close this game, I go back to the study, and here what to do after the move a5 against g4. The other move is on the next line. We are shown a6 here. Against a6 again the reply is e4 as well. So these are the two positions. Then there are 2 hits out of 174 we have looked at. Look at the rest of them as well. The next one is c5. Okay, so against c5, now there are a few lines of c5. There are actually 3 lines with c5 in it, but we won't look at all of them. We'll just see that e4 is the next move, and we'll conclude that queen b5, b6 or c7 will be the next moves. Queen b5, queen a5, b6 or c7. One of the queen moves will follow here. So we'll just look at all of them. Okay, queen a5, b6, c7. In this position, queen a5, queen b6 and queen c7. Okay, against queen a5 I will play the move a5 and b6. I just play knight c3. Against a5 and against b6 I play knight c3, whereas against, let's say, queen c7 I play knight f3. Against queen c7 I play the move knight to f3. Okay, and then these are long lines, but we'll look at all of them. Okay, a5 takes a2 in the first case. In the first case takes on a2, after which I take back knight here, and then after that f7, d8 is the only move that's given. Knight goes to d8 here because it's afraid of this, and then we have knight e2 next, and then d8, b7, knight goes to b7 after that, and then knight to g3 is the next move that's given. Knight to g3. Okay, that's all in this line. Let's look at the second line now. After knight c3 there is a forced move, queen takes, and after bishop takes on b2 there is f7, d6, knight going to d6 here, attacking this, aware that this is going to happen. Therefore in that position f2, f3 was played, knight takes, I think f takes, on e4. Then we look at the third line, where after the knight f3, queen takes h2, we will take on h2 with the knight, and after that what happens is f7 d8, knight goes back to d8 there, and then we play the move b4, c takes b4, and then rook goes to g1 here, which is a nice try here. And after that, after rook to g1, b4 b3 is forced, because otherwise he'll have time to just bring this out. C takes b3 is the reply here, force, and then after c takes b3 is the reply that we were looking for here. That's all about the c5 lines. Now let's look at the c6 lines after g4 in this position. Now let's look at the c6 lines. Again c6, there is again e4, again we have e4, and we have either queen to a5, b6 or c7. Queen a5 has many lines this time against c6. After queen a5, I play the move a3. The queen can either take on a3 or on d2 now. If it takes on a3, we will recapture with... Sorry, wait, let's look at d2 first. It takes on d2 is the main line. I mean given first there. Promote variation. If it takes on d2, we will recapture with e1. King d2, and here the moves given are f7, knight to d6 and knight to d8. Do we want to cover them all or not? Knight to d6 and d8 are given, or do you want to stop here? Okay, we're just given this and this here, and the reply will be a4 and b4. Against d6 we play a4, against this we play b4. These are the two replies that we have here. We will just stop this here. Let's say there are 4 hits from 11801 in the comments section, from 11801. After queen takes a3, however, there will be knight takes a3, and on both of these lines, f7 d8, the knight goes to d8, and after that we will play the move b4. This will be at b2 b4, and after c5 and a6, these are the c5 where we take back, or a6 when we c5 when we a6 when we play the move c4. And that's it for this position. Now we look at the move after that. There's also other possibilities after a3. Wait a second. There's also other possibilities after e4, like queen to b6 and queen to c7. The replies to those will be next. After queen b6, there is knight c3, knight f3 are the two replies. Queen to b6 is followed by knight c3, queen takes b2, bishop takes b2, queen to b6, knight c3, queen takes, wait a second, queen b6, knight c3. What happened here? After queen b6, knight c3, not queen takes b2, bishop takes b2, but actually he will play queen takes f7. Just delete this from here. King takes f7, queen takes f7, f2, sorry, king takes f2, and now after knight d8 we play e5 in this position. Look at after queen to c7 instead of b6, we have knight f3, queen takes h2, knight takes h2, and after that there is f7, d8, h1, g1. Knight to d8 is followed by rook to g1 in this position. Okay, after that what do we do here? Next we look at the move knight king e6. Okay, after g4, instead of c6 we can also play the move king over to e6, which opens the line for the queen. Knight c3 is played, queen takes on d2, king takes on d2, and now after the king goes back to d7, we just play the move e4, knight goes to d8. There we just play knight to b5 in this position after knight d8, and that is it for this opening. Now let's look at the move knight e5. Now let's go back to the position and look at the move knight e5 here, which is quite common. Knight e5 is answered with knight c3, knight takes there on g4, and then we play the move h4, after which g takes h4 is of course the first move to make, because if knight takes e3 we just take on g5, or knight takes f2 we again take on g5, knight has to take on h1 again. That's why this has to be played first. After rook takes h4, next there is the move knight takes f2 or e3. Knight takes either on f2 or on e3. Knight takes f2 or knight takes e3. Against knight takes f2 we will simply take on h7, rook has to take on h7, then king takes on f2. h7, rook takes h7, king takes f2, and there are many hits from this position. Did we get to this position in the game? Control F, find all in the current document. There are 23 hits from 11,810 from this position. Not sure if my game against Link reached this exact position. No, because I had already played e4, if nothing, but there was a similar idea. Maybe, I'm not too sure though. And what else do you want to say? However, after knight takes e3, which is after those 23 hits, knight takes, wait a second, e1, f2, okay, here we go, knight takes e1, f2, e1, f2, and then after d2, e3, after g4, e3, there we play h after the e3, take on h7. Of course rook takes h7 here, and then d takes e3, and here we have 4 hits from 11,833, which I don't want to look at now. The most common line given is rook to h3 and d8, king to e, queen to e8, rook to h3 is followed by g1, h3, and after queen to e8 we also play h3, rook takes h3, f2, f3 takes f3, e1, d1, f3, e3, c1, e3, and so that is what happens there. So we'll now go to the line knight to d6 instead of knight e5. Instead of knight e5 here, let's go to d6 with a knight, in which case the move is e4, knight takes on e4, and then g1, knight e2 here. I take on either d2 or f2. We'll look at both of them one move deeper. If it takes on d2, first of all, we will take with the king, and there are 837 to 7 hits from 11,837. 7 hits from 11,837. Whereas after taking an f2, king takes f2 is forced here, and in this position there are from 44 to 60. 16 hits from 11,844. 16 from 11844 in this position, and then after that we look at the move h5 here instead of d6. Knight d6. We can also look at the move h5 here. G takes h5, rook takes on h5, and then we play the move h4, where G takes h4 has to be played first, otherwise rook takes h4 has to be played first, otherwise the rook, leaving the rook there, is going to be disastrous. So here rook takes h4, takes h4, this takes, and then we then play e4 after G takes h4. After that there are many lines that I have to look at, which we will not do. Let's go home, Control F, find all in the current document, and say there are 60 hits from 11,860. From 11,860, now let's go to 11,920 at the end of this, where we will notice that there's also one more move. There's also another move h6 possible there instead of h5. G4, h6 is also a possibility, in which case e4 will be played, and there's no further information given. Except for this, we are also treated with another move, which is queen to e8, and the reply to that line is again the move e4. And let's count how many lines there are in this position. Find all in the current document. There are actually 48 hits, most of them with the same move, so we will cover one more line, maybe either f7, d6 or d8. Knight goes either to d6 or to d8 here. If it goes to d6, then we have just one line, knight e2, knight takes on e4 after the move f4, knight takes on d2, knight takes d2, knight takes d2, g takes f4 is followed by knight takes f4, queen goes over to h5 there, e8 h5, g takes on h5, not the knight, okay, because it falls to that. So after all this is a decent position. And so now let's look at knight to d8 line, and that also the reply is again knight e2. But there are many more hits here, actually 47 hits from 11,922, isn't it? 47 hits from 11,922 from this position, so we can just say there are 47 hits from 11,922. Okay, then we go to the next position where knight h6 is played instead of after g4. This is the last move now. Knight to queen e8, knight h6 can also be played. In that case we just play the move e4, and that's all the information that has been given here, because after knight g4 maybe h4 takes f2, h takes e5 takes e4 takes h7, rook takes h7, and so on is probably winning. That's why there is no further information there. So that's all about this line. So this is what we had in this first game, that we are analyzing today. Now let's look at this position from the game against Devil Revisits. In this position, after bishop b7, we want to see if this move is given in the solutions. Bishop b7. So I'll go back to my study and to the chapter dealing with this, which is this chapter, b5 with e6. When we open this chapter, I'll see that after e3, b5, bishop takes b5, e6 takes d7, the move king takes d7 was played there. After b4, in this position, takes with the bishop, I then go queen to g4, bishop takes on d2, queen g7. All this is simple theory that I played. And then in this position he played queen g5 and knight at 6. So we have queen g5, bishop takes g5, knight at 6, bishop takes at 6. I correctly played there. And in this position we are given bishop to b7, which is not there. Okay, in this position, in the same game, bishop to b7 is not one of the given moves, because it is quite weak, as we can see here in this position. Bishop b7 is not even, there are only 4 moves that survive according to this engine even. So 5 moves are given here, 6 moves are given here. a5, a6, c5, c6, king c6 and king e7 are all given, but the move that was played by my opponent in the game, that was not given, bishop b7, it is pretty bad, I think, because I first play queen takes d7 there. He has to take on g2, and after that, better was to take on c7, but I did not notice that, so I just took there. And after that I played knight c3. This was a position which I could have won quite easily, but I made some big mistakes and later lost the game. So there's nothing to look at in this game either, so we can close this game. Now look at this game against Hezekiah in this position. I want to see what happens here. Okay, e3, g5, bishop a6. Okay, let's go to open a website, Katalin Frankel's website, and after e3, g5, what happened in this game was bishop a6 and so on happened. Bishop a6, knight takes a6. There is the move I want to look at, which is queen f3. Against queen f3 I played b6 correctly, so queen f7 is the best move. After queen takes a8, there is no further information. So to prepare against that move, I have to just see what the engine says here. And there are no games that have been found from this position. Okay, no games found from this position. Knight b4 looks like a decent move here. I'm quite surprised that no one has played this though, but it's okay. However, as the game continued, takes f7, king takes f7 and h5. In the game, after queen f3, b6 was played, and after queen takes f7, king takes f7, h4 was played by my opponent, wasn't it? That is a losing move, but I did not find the correct continuation here. G takes h4, and if no further information on this branch, so rook takes h4, and now I want to know how to win here, not by this move, but probably by this move. After rook takes h7, I just take on g2, and then g2, then either rook takes on h8 or on f7 here, and I have to win this. But how is the question. Rook takes h8 is of course losing easily, so he takes on f7, and here we need to find one move that wins, which is bishop to g7, and that is it. The presence of this knight means that maybe rook takes g7 is kind of forced, because if he takes on e7, just take on b2 and the game is over. So he takes on g7, after which I play bishop on to f3 now, and this is also a very nice idea. Rook queen takes e7, knight takes e7, takes f3 is followed by rook h4 and knight is h4 and knight f5, and losing pretty easily. Therefore, in this position, the best try might be either knight takes f3 or rook takes g8 is probably also bad. Rook takes g8 followed by rook takes knight f3, rook g3. Rook g3, take the rook, e5 takes it, and then after queen to f8, this is taken. I can play the queen over to f3 there, so that after this move I can just relax, and after this move I can still just relax, and after this move I can still relax, and after this move I can now sacrifice the queen. So that would be a nice way to win the game after bishop f3. Therefore, let's see what happens after knight f3. I just play rook to h4, knight takes h4 is to be played first, and then if it still doesn't work, I play the move knight to b4 here, and the forced move here is rook takes e7, knight takes on c2, this is also another forced move, and now the queen takes on h4 to make the rook go to this square, knight takes on e1 here to make the rook go here, and then after queen takes f2, the rook decides to take on a8. I play bishop takes on, queen takes on d2, of course there, and there knight takes d2 is the best try, because bishop takes d2 simply loses the move b5 and b4 and this, and rook takes g8 also loses to queen takes e3, that is taken, and then the knight just comes out and sacrifices itself. So what happened here was knight takes d2 can be played, but here after the move b5, rook takes on g8, knight went to g2, rook took on g2, and then went forward. This development is, white is not well developed to handle this pawn. So that's how this game could have been won after the move h4, but I went here for knight b4 instead of the winning knight bishop b7, rook takes h7. I think might have played bishop b7 here before, but this time I couldn't find it. I went for that move, because this is a winning position for black if you play correctly. We know that in the game, however, it followed this way, and I was able to win it in the end after a move like this, though anyway. So no need to look further in this position. Is there anything to look here? Nothing, no further information given here, and no need to look at this either. So we can close this game as well, not just this game. The game against Raiko, here I want to look at what to do after a5 maybe, isn't it? This game, this is white's ninth move I want to look at here, after e3 b5, c6 in this position. Yes, in this position we have seen, is there any chat here? You seen it maybe.
कॉलेज बंद प्रिंसिपल तो यहाँ रहेछ खर्च त थिएन प्रिन्सिपल सँग गरेर आए मलाई खबर नगरी भन्थ्यो खडरसालले गरेको थियो भने त्यही गरे प्रिन्सिपललाई थाहा हुनुपर्छ हुन्छ कहिले एकाडेमिक हुन्थ्यो अब के गर्छ लाइब्रेरीमा अर्को मान्छे राखेको छ तपाईँ प्रशासनले खडरसाललाई फोन गरेर आउनु न त्यति भन्छ फोन गरेर किन जान्छ र भोलि छिटो जान्छ राखेर राख्छ
Then we have to do something here. In this position, wait a second, I'm being disturbed here. I want to go to the e3 b5 with this without b6 and e6, and I want to go to the start of this variation. Let's look e3 b5 takes b5. I'm looking at the move c6 here. Crow123 has played this against me several times. Knight, and after I move this and this, I always hope for this, but it doesn't happen. Takes there. I took on f7, took on the rook, but here I think here the king takes this line. After e4 takes the rook, and after a4 in this position, a5 was played here in this game, right, by my opponent. a5 was played, and I played knight a3 here, which is, I hope, the remaining line. Yes, it is the right move. And then knight c2, and this has to be played here. This is what theory says, but in the game played queen c7, and so lost quite easily because the queen is attacking both of these squares. But I saw that, and I so removed this from there, and after this I noticed that this and this are the only protected pieces, and this, actually these three are only protected. So I went here first. The queen could go here, but that would be easier to beat by playing simply these two moves and moving the things away. Maybe if I takes this, play the knight out there, and then this is going to be easier to win. So in this position, what happened was I played in the same position. Booker was unable to beat Hanya. Wow, I don't believe it. In this exact position. Let's have a look at that game. What went wrong there? That was a 3-2 game of Antichess. There were 2 seconds of increment. There was enough time on the clock. Booker played the move rook there as well, still winning. And in this, she played this move, that's still winning. And here after this, I'm so surprised that Booker was unable to win from this position. Oh my goodness me. Oh yeah, because the knight took probably here. This is still a winning position if you sacrifice the pawn first and then after that go to the square. But she went there, and after g6 this was taken. This is still winning here. H takes g6, H takes g6, and here knight f4 was the winning move. King went to e8, this was taken, and after this move, I don't know why she took on h8. Wow. How? What happened there? There was 32 seconds, and instead of just winning by taking one of these two, she took on h8 there, and then that was just lost. After this, it is simply winning for black. I don't know what she was trying to do there, he or she was trying to do there. Now it is easily winning for black. In my game, however, I didn't allow any of that to happen. I carefully played the rook out of there, and after this, instead of moving this, I just moved the rook to this square, and after that brought the rook out so that the knight is not able to capture it, and then it was all pretty simple after that. So we go on to the next game. This was against, I want to have a look at what to do after 11 queen e8 in this position. So here I am again playing black. So do I want to have a look at this position? I'm not sure. I lost this game. So let's have a look at what happened here. This is exactly the same as the previous game that we played. And again, isn't this the winning position? Here, not this, but this is winning. We just looked at that. I don't want to look any further into this now, because there is no further information given there. I managed to lose this game. But remember that in this position, this is already a lost move by white. This move. Okay, black is already winning here. After this, takes this, just go to this square. Rook will take here, we just take here. This is bad, I think, so this is better. And then after this, the move has to be this one, threatening to go there and bring this bishop out. Bishop g7 is a very nice move in my opening. I mean, in this opening, e3 g5. So it forces the rook to go back to the square, and after that, the way to play is to release the bishop and bring out the knight. And with that, this game will be won. in a few moves. So that is how I should have played there. Now I know what to do there. Let's go to the other game, the game against Truth and Details. Here I want to see what to do in this opening after knight c6 and b takes c6. I played knight c3 there. Is this covered or not in this? I want to check. e3 c5 lines. So let's see, after e5 bishop b5 c4, not exactly c4 was played. Knight c6 was played here. Knight to c6 is given. After bishop takes c6, b takes c6, the correct move is queen f3, okay? And there are 280 hits starting on line number 6 to 2565. So the move that I played was not the ideal move. I should have played the move queen f3 here. So let's look at this and go to that text file on line 6 to 565. So c5, I don't know if I can add this to the in the sources. Okay, let's see if I can add display capture media source. I don't know which one. Local file, oh, not exactly working there. Media source, just delete this. How to remove this. Let's see if I can show you how I do it. That's how to add game capture, display capture, audio input, media scene, text, window capture, maybe window capture 2. Okay, which one? Uses notepad. Okay, let's see this one. Oh, here we go. And so I can do that for now and show you what I have in this. This is the file that I use, and on line number 62565, so I go to the c5. Let's go to 62565. That is the line I go to there, and I see that, what is it, queen h. What happened here? Which one? I was looking after queen f3. I want to look at the 280 lines after queen f3 start here. So I'll just put it on that website. So I'll close it for now because I don't want. I'll just remove this from the view, okay, and go back to this. So in this position, I'll just show you the moves there. After h5 here, what happens? So in h5 is the first move. What is it? The first move given is h5, h7 to h5, and queen takes on h5, rook takes h5, and then knight to c3 is played. Rook takes h2 is followed by forced move rook takes h2, and here after queen a5 I will play the move b4. Alright, okay, queen takes b4, knight to d5. If c takes b4, we just play the move d4, and that is looking like a decent position here as well. It's winning. So now let's look at the next line. After queen f3, queen b6 is also playable. Let's look at what to do after queen b6 here. Against queen b6, queen takes on c6, has to take somewhere, and there after queen c6 has to play queen takes c6 forced, because otherwise if he takes this there could be something like that happening, okay. And after queen takes c6, the next move I should play is knight c3, and here this is a forced move, queen takes g2, after which I play the move b4 here. b4 here. Now there are two lines given, g2 takes h1 or c5 b4. Either take on h1 or take on b4. Against taking on h1, we have the move we have to take on c5 as well, and then after it takes on h2, we go bishop a3, takes on h2, we go bishop a3, takes on g1, we play the move knight a4. We play the move knight g1, knight a4. So that is what we would do there. In case of c takes b4, there we have another free move, and we just make the move d3 there, after which either he takes on h1 or on c3. Do I want to go further into this? Queen takes h1 or b takes c3. These are the two lines here. So against queen takes h1, what do we do? Against queen takes h1, here we just make the move h4, after which queen has to take on g1 and king goes to e2 there. Queen takes c1 or b4 takes c3. Either queen takes c1 or b takes c3 here. Against b takes c3, against queen takes c1, there is rook takes c1, and after b takes c3, there is h5. So this is what happened there. Two more comments on this. Right. It's done on Facebook. Now let's go to this position. So after this, queen f3, b takes c3. Where was I? Yeah, after queen f3, b takes c3. In this position, we just play the move h5 there. Play the move h5, okay? That's what we are supposed to do. And now, after b takes c3 earlier, we just play h5 anyway. And here he wants to take on f2 with the king, and I take f2 with the king. That is also winning for me later on. And now after this, let's look at b takes c3. Instead of queen takes h1, instead of queen takes h1, we can also try b takes c3 earlier there. And in that case, the king goes over to e2. King goes over to e2, then queen can take on g1, f2 or h2. On g1, on f2, or on h2. The queen cannot really take on h1 here, which is the worst of the moves, which is not given even if it can. Queen takes g1 is probably the best try when I have to take here, and after g5 take there. Alright, against f2 and h2, it is just a forced move in both cases, and no further information given there either. So we have finished with this, and we now go to the move knight h6 instead of queen b6 after queen f3. So after queen f3, instead of queen b6. We can also look at the move knight h6 now. Knight h6 is probably the most popular here, I don't know. Queen will take on c6, d takes c6. The idea behind this is to take with the knight. Right, so after that, d takes c6, I will play g4 anyway. Knight takes on g4, and then the move is a4 here. Alright, in this position, g4 takes on f2. Is that the only move, or can he also take on h2? Yes, he can take on either f2 or on h2. We'll look at both of them. First, let's look at the capture on f2. Or what about e3? What about e3? f2 and h2 are only given, or is e3 also given? g4, e3 is also given. So all three lines are given, and there are quite a few hits. We will not go too deeply into them, because we also have to look at queen takes d2 here, because I have forgotten about that possibility. So all four possibilities will be given here. Takes f2, takes h2, takes e3, and queen takes d2. Okay, those are all given here, and we will just go, we won't go too deeply into all of them, and after that we'll finish with this. Okay, we'll be done with this. So let's look at how many lines there are after queen, after this takes f2. So first takes f2, king takes f2, queen takes on d2 is also forced, and then bishop takes d2 here. That is quite a nice move. And looks like c8 h3 is the most common move here, but we will not go deeper than this. We will just count by going here, Control F, find all in the current document, and we will see there are 59 hits from 62,572. 59 hits from 62,572 in this position. We will not look at all of them here. Okay, now let's look at the knight takes h2 line. So 59 added to 72 will give us will take us there. After knight h2, we will just take with the rook on h2. Of course, after queen takes d2, the move we will make is with the king this time. Unlike the earlier move, we have to take with the king this time. Maybe because the bishop isn't a good option, because the king is the better option. And after that, there are many moves, but we will not look into further details here. Control F, find all in the current document. We'll just count them and expand them later. 93 hits from 62,631. If we get to this position, 92 hits from 62631, is it? Let's confirm it. 62631, there are 93 hits from 62631. So go back and see that there are 93 hits here. So this is all about this position. There are many possible moves for black, so we will look at them if we come to this position again, or if someone demands for it. And after knight e3 here, 92 means 700 and what is it, 43, 62,743 is where we will see the next move. Where am I? Am I lost here? g4 e3, it starts here on 724 actually. Did I make a correct search? c8 h3. This is all about g4 takes h2. Okay, so 93 plus 31 is actually 24, sorry. Yeah, I'm correct. 6,724, and thereafter e3, f2 takes e3, f takes e3, queen takes d2, and this time it is still taken by the king, and we will count that there are, Control F, find all in the current document, how many lines are there. c8s3 is very popular. We might want to look at that as well, but maybe not. There's also e8 d7. c8s3 is followed by knight takes s3. Of course, that is the first move, so no need to look at that. We can say that there are 118 hits from this position, from 6 to 7 to 4. 118 hits from 62 7 to 4. Okay, and there is still one more move to go, which is, I mean, it can transpose in some lines, but let's look at 6 2 8 4 2. Queen takes d2 now. The knight there, after queen takes on d2. In this case we will take with the king, and after takes on e3 here, g4 takes e3 is the only sensible move now, because takes on h2 is still possible, I guess, but it will transpose. Takes on, alright, f2, however, I had taken and then had to take with the bishop there earlier. So takes on e3 now. Maybe I will take with the king and not let it transpose. There are 3 hits now from 62 8 4 2. Let's see that here. 62,842. So that is all about this game as well. Okay, the real game that this comes from was this, and in this position I didn't play the correct move. I played knight c3, even though the right move was knight f3. After knight c3, however, I was able to survive because I took the queen out, sacrificed the queen here, and then from this position it is just winning. The move isn't seen by the engine here, but when I play it, it also sees it automatically. Just look at this. Even the engine doesn't see this for a long time. It does see finally. Knight d5 is an alternative win as well, and even knight b4 is also winning. Of course, it is the same move order. So, and here after this, I was able to just do this, and this is kind of easy. So after this game, now let's go to the one against Link. This time I want to check if c5 is a good move or not, okay, in this position. So let's have a look at this opening that he played. I want to open another window, and there I will open this website and look at the move e3 followed by g5, and then bishop a6, is it? Bishop a6, right? Bishop a6, and then knight takes a6, and Link likes playing the move queen h5, after which bishop g7 is played, queen takes h7, bishop takes b2, and he likes bishop takes b2. It is given a better score here, but the solution revolves around queen takes h8, the solution by Watkins. However, bishop takes b2 is probably also winning, but not too sure about that because it hasn't been proven yet, even though it does have a good ratio. Rook takes h7, after which he plays bishop f6 and e takes f6, and then after h4, we've played this position several times. G takes h4. In this position, yes, f4 is indeed the move, but I didn't see that. f4 is the move, but no one plays it actually. f4. What happened in this game was he played the move g3 or g4, the same thing, g4, h takes g3, and it's probably advantageous for me now, and it is not given there, so I have to just consult the engine here maybe. So in this position, that's what I wanted to check was, in this position the Watkins winning line is not this, but queen takes h, okay. However, this is given a better score by the website which you just saw. After this is all theory, and here white's advantage is lost after this move, according to that book at least. f5 is supposed to be the best move here, and I want to see if my move c5 here is good or not here. Knight e7 is also shown, king e7 is also shown, king f8 is also shown here, c5 is quite down the list, f5 seems to be better, but I like c5 because I can immediately bring the queen out and try to attack. I played knight f3 there, and I played queen b6 anyway. So instead of knight f3, something better like maybe d4 could be done there, or even e4. Because after knight f3 the queen is allowed to go there, and then after this makes things even easier. After this move I just wanted to take this first, e takes d4, and then take there. After the rook takes, I took there, and then this is a slow win. I'd give up the bishop to bring to get a rook, but I don't know why I was afraid for a second or two there. And after that I just went here, and in this position I went there. But after that, you know what, I promoted to a rook anyway, because it was possible according to the situation. And then this was just an easy win. So no need to look at this game. Now look at this game here. What do I want to see in this game? I don't know what I want to see in this particular game. It was just to see. There is probably no further information after pretty early. He started with g3, right? I played knight h6. He played knight h3, I think. I played g5. He took on g5. I went to g4. He took on h7. I took on h2. He took on f8. I took on f8 with the rook. Then there's no further information already. So in this position there is already no information at which point? At this point. At this point there is no further information already, and I decided to play e6. I've been playing it quite often, maybe 5 times now, with 50-50 score so far, I don't know. And rook h8 and rook h4. Rook h8 was played more often than rook h4 here. Took their bishop came, I took. This was played, I took, and reached this position, which I have reached several times now. And in this position, maybe this is where I'm not sure if d6 is the best move. Probably next time I will play f2, or maybe I will just play d6 again. But against this, I will play the move f5. However, today's game, I don't know what to do. Maybe I should just go f2 here, because after this I can just make a king. I was afraid of the promotion piece here, but the king promotion just saves me immediately. Alright, and instead of sacrificing the king, there might be other ideas here, like let's say b3, where after rook takes b3, let's say if a takes b3, we can just make something here like a rook here. Or if this takes b3, you can start with f5 and so on. Also after f2 there is another option, maybe of a3, where after rook takes a3 you will play probably rook takes a3, make a king there, takes there, takes here, and that's how things go from there as well. Since the bishop is undeveloped, the king promotion can be done quickly. So with all that in mind, I think next time I will definitely play the move f2 here if I reach this position. Okay, let's go to the game against book e10. I don't think there's anything to look at there. Is there? I don't think so. Just want to look at the opening moves, maybe after this, if there's any information for queen b3. Let's see. So we start with the moves 1 c4 by white. Against the move c4 I play knight h6, and then after, what is it, c5 I play d6, c takes d6, and e takes d6. After that Bookie played the move g4, which is still the best I took with the knight on g4. Did I? Yes, indeed. And there's no further information after this knight takes g4 move. And after queen b3, I'm on my own even now, but I can use the engine. Knight takes h2 is the only move there, others lose. He plays rook takes h2, a2, and then bishop e6 here is given rather than h3. Queen h4, bishop c, or even c6, and c6 is even given there. This move c6, b6, queen to h4, bishop e6, bishop even to f5 is also given. These are the moves given in the game. What happened was I played that way, and after this I was able to win quite convincingly, I should say, because this is just winning on the spot. So let's not look at this anymore. Now the final game I have to look at is this one. After bishop b8, what do I want to look in this game? I'm not too sure. I want to look at, this is the same opening that you saw a while ago. Knight at 6 and queen g5 we just take, and then king goes to d8. We want to see if that is possible here. So for that we have to go to open the study and go to the chapter with, which one, with bishop with e6 here, right? And in this chapter we will see that, not this move, I want to look at the position where he sacrifices first on h6, knight at 6, and then on g5 with queen g5, bishop takes g5, and here only one move is given, king c6, nothing else is given. So this is the only move that's given. Takes c7, takes there, take the knight out, and that is the winning method. But in this game he played this move, and so this is losing immediately to the move queen takes c7 is even, look at this, queen takes c7 is even better here, because after king takes c7 I can now play knight c3 and threaten to go there and win. Even sacrificing the king doesn't help, going to c6 doesn't help either, because it will be followed by either bishop e7 or rook to h4 or even to rook h3, all winning there. But the plan that I employed in the game, queen takes e6, is also winning, and it's more forcing. Takes on d8, takes on a2, takes on c7, takes here, queen takes there. After that a5 move, a5 and e6 are lasting longest. a5 I just take there, and after this I took there, and this goes down. I just took the g4 pawn forward. It is just winning according to the table base as well. a4, and then I play c4, c3, all winning moves. There is no move that don't win. Just there are 3 moves that lose. For example, if I play the rook there, or if I play it b3, or if I play h3 there, these are the only losing moves. Everything else just wins. And so I just was able to win it easily. So that is all about today's daily Antichess arena. And I did see some of the messages. Thank you, finlip, Bravo Crow. Thank you, Havla. Tobroti, didn't understand that language a little bit. Okay, do you play other games? No chess. What games do you think maybe? No. Okay, keep playing. Good. I won't. Thank you. I see you. That was all. I finished in 3rd place, 20 points behind the winner, 14 points behind 2nd place. I played some terrible games, but if I had won each one of my games here, just for example, he would have